Hey there, we're going to have some fun with tarot right now. This is a little short introduction to the tarot deck and how we can use it ourselves in our personal divination. So here is the original tarot deck. It's called the Rider-Waite deck. It came into existence in the mid 15th century. It was and is actually a playing card deck. There are card games being played today still using the Rider-Waite deck for, card playing. It wasn't until the 18th century that the deck began to be used for divination. The tarot deck has 78 cards in it, separated by the major arcana, which has 22 cards, the minor or arcana, which has 56 cards. The minor arcana looks most like our regular playing deck. It has 4 suits. It has numbers from ace to 10, and then the court cards. So let's talk about the minor arcana first. The minor arcana works with the energies of our daily living. Here are some examples of the different suits. We have the Ace of Wands. So one of the suits is Wands. We have the Ace of Cups. One of the suits is Cups. We also have the suit of Pentacles, as seen here in the Two of Pentacles. And we have the Swords, seen here in the Two of Swords. The Cups represent our emotions, our intuition, and our creativity. The Wands represent our passion, our spirituality, our life purpose, and our motivation. The Pentacles represent finances and work. This is the physical world, so it's actual money and dealing with the physical realm. And then last but not least, we have the suit of Swords, which is our thoughts, words, and actions, ideas, making decisions. So we have those energies to work with the 4 different suits. And then we have the one ace to 10 in each suit is called the pip, P-I-P. And then after the ace to 10, we also have the court cards, page, knight, queen, and the king. So the court cards, check my notes here, they're probably, for me anyway, they're the hardest cards in the deck to interpret, because as you can see, in each of the court cards, there is a person. So in the court cards, depending on how we look at them in the spread, can actually be a specific person, or it can be the attributes that these cards hold. We need to look at the attributes of that personality. So it also gives us clues as how the people represented in these cards think and what they're motivated. To me, this is the hardest one, because I have a hard time discerning if it's a real person or if I'm dealing with the person. These represent the energies that I'm working with within myself. So sometimes that gets tricky for me. This just really amazes me about the court cards here. The court cards actually correspond to the Myers-Briggs personality trait. There are 16 Myers-Briggs personality traits, and they align with each one of the court cards. So the tarot deck is about dealing with our inner selves, our emotions, our motivations, how we think, how we're processing. We move then to the major arcana. Let me find them. Here they are, right in front of me. The major arcana exists outside of the playing card scenario. There are 22 major arcana, while the minor arcana deals with our daily living and issues we deal with every day and just moving through those. When we pull major arcana cards, we're dealing with major life lessons and teachings. There are 22, but the first card is a 0, and that is the Fool. And it goes from the Fool all the way up to the 22nd card, the World. So the major arcana follows the spiritual development, the spiritual emotional development of the Fool, who is us, follows them through every card through that journey to the 22nd card, the end, completion, satisfaction. So it's all cyclical. The other thing really cool about the tarot cards is that they do align with numerology. You can see on each card has a number, whether it's a major arcana or minor arcana. And you connect these numbers, like the number 2 to the number 2 in numerology. We will see those energies aligning. The same thing with astrology. These cards also align with the astrology symbols. So I personally love this deck because it brings in all those different disciplines into one setting here, but it still is based on your subjective interpretation of what you're seeing in front of you. So there are different kinds of decks. Many of them will follow the traditional Rider-Waite, and they're just a little kind of a variation. Some decks really go a little bit crazy. Now I'm showing you, this is the Fool from the Rider-Waite deck, the original tarot deck. Here's an updated version. And then we can get really eccentric, and this is also another representation of the Fool. So you can see, though, with this card is a little bit different than the original Rider-Waite. The interpretation might also be a little bit different, just a little bit, but the essential meaning of the cards remain unchanged. Very interesting. Now, there is also oracle decks. Oracle decks are in most instances, they're completely based on the author, the author's artwork, and the author's interpretation of the card. So this is the Wisdom of the Oracle deck, which I like to use a lot. And I just like it because it's easy to understand and it gives you really good information that you can use to make better choices. But so it usually is dependent on the author. Sometimes the Oracle deck will align with the tarot deck. So if you look at the Oracle cards also are usually numbered. So if you look at, like, this one is 49, there is no 49 in a tarot deck, but numerologically speaking, the 49 breaks down to a 13, which is a 4, right? Yeah, so it aligns with a 4 in the tarot deck. So you can get a feeling from this card by the feeling of the 4 in the tarot deck. Very wonderful stuff. I hate to burst the bubble or let you in on the secret, but when we use these cards, what we are doing is tapping into our higher mental body, our intuition. And it's through the higher mental body and the intuition that we can access, I call them spirit guides, but we have so much support in the celestial realm for each and every one of us. So when I read tarot, I'm just accessing that part of myself that goes out beyond my physical body. I don't really, there's no personalities involved or, you know, anyone coming talking to my ear. I'm sorry if that's what you think is going to happen, but that's not how it works. It's just a wonderful tool to get within and to see what's really going on within ourselves. And it also gives us a path and a strategy to resolve some challenges and obstacles we're facing. And if we see major arcana in our spread, when we do our spreads, then that tells us it's a major life lesson that we need to be paying attention to. One last thing on the spreads, there are all different kind of spreads that you can do with the tarot card. There's the Celtic Cross, there's a 3-card spread. The most important thing in reading the tarot, I'm here to tell you, you can do any spread you want. You can make up your own spread, meaning how many cards you're going to throw out. You need to know the position of each card. You need to know, if I'm throwing out 3 cards, let's say, that the first card is the past, the middle card is the present, and the third card is the future. If you don't know what these cards represent, you're not going to get too much help if you don't know what they're referring to. So I'm glad you had fun with me on just an introduction on the tarot. And please, I'd like you to comment and let me know what you think. And if you have any suggestions for future videos, please let me know that as well. Thanks so much. I hope you have fun. Namaste.